The annual Westbridge Corporate Expo was packed with CEOs, investors, entrepreneurs, and media. But among them all, the most watched figure was Zaydan al-Rashid, the young Arab billionaire known for his ruthless intelligence and unmatched chess skills. Some called him a genius. Others called him arrogant. Either way, he drew attention everywhere he went. Across the hall stood Elena Carter, CEO of Silverline Tech. Brilliant, confident, and famously competitive. The two had crossed paths before, and neither encounter had ended peacefully. Today, their rivalry had the perfect battleground. A charity chess match in the center of the expo, surrounded by cameras. Closer to the crowd stood someone who didn't fit the scene at all. A quiet single dad named Daniel Brooks, dressed in his simple work uniform. He had been hired only for event maintenance, moving equipment and checking sound cables. But he had brought his 6-year-old daughter, Layla, with him because he couldn't find a babysitter. She sat silently beside him, holding her small sketchbook, watching everything with wide eyes. The chess match began with the kind of icy tension that made people whisper. Elena moved her first piece calmly, but Zaydan responded with a smirk. "You'll need more than confidence to beat me, CEO," he said smoothly. "Chess is not an app you can update when you fail." The crowd chuckled. Elena's jaw tightened. "I don't need updates to beat ego," she answered. Piece after piece moved, each one with the kind of precision only professionals had. But Zaydan soon took control of the board. After just 10 minutes, he leaned back, completely relaxed. "You should resign," he said. "This board is no place for someone who panics." Elena's confidence wavered. Cameras zoomed in. Reporters leaned forward. The match was slipping away from her. Daniel felt uncomfortable watching the humiliation unfold. He admired Elena. She was known for her honesty, something rare among CEOs. But he kept quiet, it wasn't his place. Layla tugged on his sleeve. "Daddy," she whispered, "the man made a mistake." Daniel looked at her, confused. "What mistake, sweetheart?" She pointed at the board. "The tall piece. He moved it wrong." Daniel squinted, trying to see from a distance. He wasn't a chess master, but he trusted his daughter. She had a strange gift for patterns. And she was right. Zaydan had moved his rook illegally. Daniel hesitated. He didn't want to interfere in billionaire business. But Layla tugged harder. "Tell them," she insisted. "It's not fair." Before he could respond, Layla suddenly marched toward the chess table. Daniel rushed after her, but it was too late. She spoke out in a loud, clear voice. "You moved the rook the wrong way." The room fell silent. Cameras spun toward the tiny 6-year-old girl. Zaydan frowned, surprised that a child had dared interrupt him. "Little one," he said kindly but amused, "I assure you, I know how to move a rook." Layla shook her head. "No, you don't. You crossed your own bishop. That's not allowed." Elena blinked, realizing the child was right. She turned to Zaydan. "Is she correct?" Zaydan looked at the board carefully. And for the first time, the arrogant billionaire looked genuinely rattled. "Yes," he admitted after a long pause. "She is correct." The audience murmured. But the moment that changed everything wasn't the correction, it was what happened next. Layla smiled and said something softly under her breath, in perfect Arabic. "Honesty always wins." The billionaire froze. He stared at her as if he had seen a ghost. You speak Arabic?" he asked quietly. Layla nodded. "Daddy taught me. And Mama used to speak it too." Daniel's heart clenched. He hadn't expected his late wife's language to emerge so suddenly in public. She had been born in Morocco, and he kept her heritage alive for Layla. Zaydan stood from his chair. Something in his expression softened from arrogance to deep respect. "Who is your mother?" he asked gently. Daniel placed a protective hand on his daughter's shoulder. "She passed away 2 years ago. She was from Casablanca. She was proud of her culture. I teach my daughter everything I can." The billionaire swallowed, emotion flickering across his usually cold face. "I knew someone like her," he whispered. "A woman who believed children should grow up between worlds. 2 cultures, 1 heart." Layla beamed. "Daddy says that too." Cameras captured it all. Zaydan, usually a symbol of wealth and power, kneeling in front of a child with genuine awe in his eyes. "What is your name, little one?" he asked. "Layla Brooks." "Layla," he repeated gently, "you honored the game today with your honesty. And your Arabic, it is beautiful." The crowd melted at the sight. Even Elena looked touched. Zaydan turned to Daniel. You are a single father. Daniel nodded. Yes, I take whatever work I can. She's my whole world. For a long moment, Zaydan studied him, not with judgment but admiration. You are raising her with dignity, he said. I respect that more than wealth. Elena, seizing the moment, spoke up. Daniel, your daughter just saved my match. If you hadn't been here. He shook his head quickly. She did it, not me. But Elena wasn't finished. You know what I see. She said. A father who teaches integrity. A man who works hard and still raises a brilliant child. People like you don't deserve to stay unnoticed. Zaydan agreed. Come work for me, the billionaire said suddenly. Daniel's eyes widened. Sir, I'm not offering charity, Zaydan said firmly. I am offering opportunity. You understand people. You raise a child who sees the truth in a world full of lies. Join my team. You have the values my company lacks. The crowd erupted with surprise. Elena smiled. For what it's worth, Daniel, if you choose him, you're choosing right. And if you choose me, I'll still take you. Daniel was speechless. A janitor, wanted by two giants in one day. All because his daughter believed in fairness. He looked down at Layla. She squeezed his hand. Take the job that helps us, Daddy, she whispered. Mama would want that. His chest tightened. He turned to the billionaire. I'll accept your offer. But I want one thing. Anything, Zaydan replied. Let my daughter keep learning Arabic from your people. She wants to stay connected to her mom. Zaydan smiled warmly. Then she will learn from the best. And she will always be welcomed as family. The crowd applauded as the billionaire extended his hand to Daniel. A handshake that marked the beginning of a new life. Elena sighed, amused. Beaten at chess and at recruiting. Not my best day. Layla giggled. You can still win next time. Zaydan chuckled. Not if she plays. The expo lights glowed over them as a simple janitor and his daughter suddenly stepped into a world they never imagined. All because a 6-year-old girl spoke truth. And Arabic.